What's up, people? Welcome back to Chris Checks Comics. My name is Chris Gonzalez, and I'm back again for another episode of Single Issue Saturdays, but I apologize. This video is releasing on a Tuesday because life was lifing and I got really busy, so my apologies for dropping this video late, but to make up for me not dropping the video on Saturday, you guys are gonna get two videos today from me. Again, Single Issue Saturday on a Tuesday, which is this video. And also later tonight, I'll be dropping the latest episode of Trade Talk Tuesdays. And that's the series where I highlight and discuss either one or a couple of a collected edition, whether it be a trade paperback, hardcover, etc. So, but yeah, for this video, again, this is the series where I recap and discuss the issues that I picked up on the New Comic Book Day, highlighted on New Comic Wednesdays, so you can check that out on which ones I picked up. And I also will go over some of the digital issues that I read as well. So let's go ahead and get into it. So the first one I'm going to go over is the first comic I've ever picked up from the publisher Ignition Press. And I just got to say, this is my favorite issue that I read this past week. And it's just brutal. And this is issue number 1. And this is written by Dennis Hopeless. The artwork is done by Bram Revel, and they also did the letters. And it's colored by Marissa Luis. And let me also give you a quick summary of this comic. So, sometimes family can be just brutal. Jordan Savage is a normal 16-year-old kid, barely holding it together after his parents' recent divorce. His twin sister, Winter, is his opposite in every way, including how she's coping with the changes in the Savage family's lives. And those changes are bigger than they could even imagine. They are about to find out that the boring, bickering parents they've known their whole lives are secretly ancient, death-dealing barbarian warriors. They have been living quietly for 3,000 years, having defeated their nemesis, the evil sorcerer warlord Farquhar the Fleshless, leaving the world safe for humanity. Only now, Farquhar has returned, and his army of hideous Mordorks are about to devour Des Moines. Now, the Savages are piled in Mom's minivan, headed for Iowa to wage war against Black Magic Armageddon. Jordan is freaking out. Winter thinks it's all pretty cool, and no one is sure if Mom and Dad can get along enough to save civilization from destruction. So that actually revealed a lot more than this first issue actually went over, but let's go ahead. That's just a basic summary. So for people who haven't read this or who don't know anything about this, that's what this story is going to be about. So I really enjoyed this comic. Again, the pacing was really done really well. And yeah, the pacing just flows really well, and it was a really fast read, and again, really enjoyable. So again, we start out with Jordan. Again, this is Jordan Savage. He is the main character of our story. He's just going over, he kind of breaks the fourth wall a little bit, just narrating, getting the audience caught up with what he's going through and how he has a dysfunctional family. He's not really close to his father, and again, he's just dealing with the normal tropes of a teenager. So I thought the humor was done really well. And this Jordan, he's a film student. He's really into making films, and then he has a stepfather. His name is Gary Williams, and he actually addresses him by his full name, Gary Williams. So I thought that was pretty funny. So his stepdad, or the guy that his mother's dating, he's just trying to get closer to Jordan, and Jordan's not really, he doesn't really respect him. But again, really dug the artwork in this, and the colors by Marissa Louise. just elevated the artwork. So it just goes over, his mom's just telling him, hey, just be nicer to Gary, because Gary's trying, to, relate to Jordan. And so yeah, Jordan just goes over, his sister, Winter, his twin sister. Again, like the back said, his sister Winter is like the opposite of Jordan. She's very athletic, and she's more like her father. She's always arguing with her mother, and Jordan is not like his sister at all. And then, so yeah, it's Jordan. He's making a movie with, I believe he just broke up with. It's revealed that he just broke up with this girl. What's her name? I don't know what's her name. What is the girl's name? Not sure what his girlfriend's name, but they had recently broken up, and they're still working on film projects together, as she has moved to Denver, and that's the reason why they broke up. So Jordan didn't want to deal with a long distance relationship, but they remain friends. And again, Gary is trying to relate, and to Jordan, because apparently Jordan used to ski, but he only did it because that's the only thing his father really bonded with him over. So kind of resents skiing now. And again, eventually Winter and Jordan's dad show up unannounced, and Jordan's just surprised. They had no idea that the dad was going to come over. And then all of a sudden, this is where the issue takes a turn, and an unexpected turn, if you didn't read the back, that is. So this this monster just crashes through the house, and it's made like a car, either the car turned into a monster, I'm not sure, but some monster comes up, and then Jordan's dad is like, hey, give me a weapon. And apparently Winter knows more than Jordan does, and it's revealed that Jordan's dad has been saving the world for a long time, and something is happening where these creatures are popping up, and Jordan's dad is taking them out. And it's not just Jordan's dad, but it's revealed that the mother is also one of these warriors as well. So again, really fun comic, really dug it, fast paced, and the humor's great. And Jordan's like, what the fuck? The mother's like, language. So really dug this. I've never read anything from Dennis Hopeless, but the script was, again, really fun, really flowed, and I highly recommend this. Just brutal. I'm definitely picking up issue 1. So yeah, let's go ahead and move on to DC. And the first DC issue I'm going to go over is Green Lantern, and this is issue 13, and this is written by Morgan Hampton. The art is by Juan Jose Rip. There are a lot of colorists, and as I show you some of the pages, you'll understand why, but the colorists are Arif Brianto, Ian Herring, Jao Canola, Chris Sotomayor, Matt Herms, and Hi-Fi, and the letters are done by Dave Sharp. So since Morgan Hampton became the full-time writer on this title, I've actually still pretty enjoyed it. There's only been like one issue that I didn't really like, but I think that was issue number 10, but since then it's been really solid. So this guy Enquar, he's upset at the Green Lantern Corps because the Green Lantern Corps took some refugees from another planet and dropped them onto Enquar's planet called Enquar, and they're like a water, like sentient species, and the aliens that the Green Lantern Corps brought over to Enquar's planet pretty much destroyed the planet. So Enquar is seeking revenge for that, and he's looking to take out Oa, and he's teamed up with Fatality, another character that was seeking revenge against the Green Lantern Corps, and she also dated Jon Stewart briefly. So based on last issue, in all, since the Starbreaker Supremacy, the Starbreaker Supremacy crossover between the main Green Lantern title, all the Lanterns Corps, they're on Oa, and they're just trying to get along and, deal with each other. So the last issue, Lair flees the Orange Lantern. He tried to make a play at taking over Oa, but then all of a sudden Enquar took over this planet and essentially transported the planet onto Oa for a planet invasion. So this is where issue 13 picks up. So Green Lanterns, they're just dealing with the invasion of Enquar, and I really dug the artwork, and I understand why there was a lot of colorists on this issue. There's just a lot going on, just all the details of the artwork. It kind of it looked like a painting to me, which I really dug. It's just, look at this, just a lot of water related artwork, considering Enquar is a water-based villain. So I really dug it. And Fatality, she's struggling because she's been reluctantly partnering with Enquar, because she does want revenge, but deep down she's she doesn't want to hurt others. So this issue really focuses on Fatality, which really surprised me, because I know she's been a part of the Green Lantern lore, but in previous runs, but I haven't read those. So I was surprised that they decided to focus really on Fatality. And then Aya, she pleads with the Indigo Tribe to help defend Oa, but they've been searching for the reincarnation of the emotional spectrum entities. But one of them decides to help Aya. Irokik? I butchered her name, but yeah. So this girl, she from the Indigo Tribe, she decides to help, and then I really dug this page. So essentially, Fatality becomes an Indigo Lantern. So because her compassion for her fallen people and compassion for Enquar, honestly, the Indigo Tribe feels like she's the perfect vessel to lead them to the emotional entity of compassion. So essentially, she becomes an Indigo Lantern, and she takes Jon Stewart to where Enquar is located on the other planet. And meanwhile, the other Lanterns, they go to Mogo to, produce this high energy beam to shoot at. So they all work together, and they shoot at Enquar's planet to, help. And then Fatality and Jon Stewart, they go down to Enquar, and look at her, really dug it. And they go through to the core to, locate the Prime, because Enquar, he's pretty much made duplicates of himself all across this planet. So they're trying to find the main one. So they dig through into the core of the planet, and then Fatality, she just has this square off with Enquar, and she uses her compassion because she doesn't kill him because he's the last of his species. So she uses her compassion powers to essentially turn him into this little ball, and she tells Jon Stewart hey, I'm just gonna take him around and show him that with compassion we can be better, and she'll show him the way, essentially. And so that's pretty much it. So I really dug this issue, And at the end, there's a nice cliffhanger where the emotional entities, they appear in front of Guy Gardner, and they're like little babies. So what's that about? Why approach Guy Gardner? We'll have to find out. But I really dug this issue of Green Lantern. It was a nice conclusion to this Enquire arc. So yeah, I've been digging it. And I will look forward to the next issue. And so the next issue I'm going to be talking about is Bleeding Hearts, and this is issue 1, and this is one of the Vertigo relaunch series, and this is written by Dennis Camp. Artwork is by Stepan Morian, colors are by Matt Hollingsworth, and the letters are by Hassan Otsmane Elhal. And yeah, and I believe Dennis Camp and Stepan Morian, they had worked previously on 20th Century Men. I haven't read it yet, but I do have the trade paperback, so probably in a future episode of Trade Talk Tuesdays, I will be going over that series. But yeah, I dug this. This is not as cerebral as, Dennis Camp's other works like Assorted Crisis Events and Absolute Martian Manhunter. It's still kind of weird, but it's more, I wouldn't say mainstream, but it's more digestible, pun intended, for this type of book. But I dug the artwork, very like cartoonish vibe from the artwork, and really the lettering really stood out to me. And I believe Hassan is one of the best letterers in the industry right now, so shout out to him. And very humorous. So it's essentially, the story is about we're like a decade into the zombie apocalypse. Most of the humans have been taken out by the zombies, and we follow our main zombie. His name is Poke. Well, his short name is Poke, but his actual name is, what is his actual name? They have like long names, and his name is Mouse Poke's Golf Ball Out of Head Hole. That's his full name, but nickname is Poke. And then he has a friend. His name is Mush, or mushrooms grow up all over like little forests. So, but anyway, we follow this zombie. His name is Poke, and one day his heart is just beating, and he's questioning his whole existence, essentially. And because the zombies, they've developed a society. They've created a community amongst each other, and so they're just seeking out, trying to eat humans. And Poke is starting to develop feelings for not only the humans, but he's just questioning why the zombies are doing what they're doing. Because are they considered evil because they're killing and devouring all these humans? So he's just questioning himself. So I thought this was a solid first issue. Again, not my favorite series from Dennis Camp, but again, this is just one issue. But I am definitely looking forward to reading this, and it just goes over, it mainly focuses on Poke and Mush and developing their friendship. So I thought that was done really well. And it goes over how the horde of the zombies operates, and just goes over their society. And I thought it was good world building. So shout out to Dennis Camp, he's really good at building out these worlds. So so again, they're just eating all the humans that they come across, and eventually Poke and Mush, they stumble across this suburb. But before that, we just get more insights into how the horde operates and all the different zombies that are part of the horde. And again, they have their own rules, and they have their own way of operating, So Poke and horde, they just going on a hunt, and again, like I mentioned, they stumble across the suburbs. And again, really cool artwork. So yeah, zombies, they like suburbs because you can find anything. So essentially, Poke, they're just rummaging through this house, and Poke, and some parts are really dark, actually, because Poke, he reminisces about this father who killed his children to prevent them from, being eaten by zombies. But so some of it's really dark. But eventually, again, the Poke and Mush, they're just rummaging through this house, and then Poke discovers humans. So what is he gonna do? His newfound, feelings for, life. How's he gonna approach these humans? And these humans, again, they're scared for their lives. How are they gonna react to, a zombie who's essentially turning into a human? So I thought this was a really solid read, great world building, an interesting premise, a different take on the zombie genre, and it ended on a great cliffhanger. And once again, it's a story about the human condition, and Dennis Camp, I believe he's really great at doing that. So I'm excited for issue 2. So definitely recommends Bleeding Hearts, issue number 1. And the last issue that I'm going to be going over is the only digital issue that I read this week, and it is a big one. It's DCKO, and that's issue number 4, and it's written by Scott Snyder with Joshua Williamson writing backup, and the main artist is Javi Fernandez with Sermonico doing the backup art, and the colors are by Alejandro Sanchez, and once again the letters are done by Hassan Otsmane El Hal, just killing it. Again, he's Hassan. Shout out to Hassan, definitely one of the best. He's definitely one of my favorite letterers, along with Steve Wan. So shout out to him. Great lettering throughout this issue. So yeah, this is just another bombastic issue, crazy fun issue of DCKO, and where we left off last issue is we have the final 4 combatants in the DCKO tournaments, and it's Joker, Lex Luthor, Wonder Woman, and Superman. And now they have to fight the absolute versions of the Trinity, along with Darkseid, who's taking over the body of Booster Gold. So it's pretty much that fight is this issue, and it was really crazy, really very anime influenced. So I really appreciated that. And Joker, he ends up switching sides, and that wasn't really surprising because Joker's like the wild card. All he cares about is chaos. So he switches sides, and then eventually, if y'all read Night Fight, Batman, the mainline Batman comes back, stabs Joker in the back, and kills him. So he breaks his no-kill rule. But he kills him, he gets back in the tournament, and eventually, initially, the absolute versions of the Trinity fight the main line. They fight. There are some cool. I liked how the action sequences were drawn by Javi Fernandez, and the colors definitely elevated the action. And I liked how his designs for the absolute versions of the Trinity, very unique. So I really like that. And there's one the page where the panel, I think it was the absolute version of Wonder Woman. She was just you see like her face, and it's like cut in half, with one side is just like corrupted with Darkseid's Omega energy, and the other side is just normal. But the panel layouts are composited where it's the shape of her body. I thought that was really creative composition of the panels, so that was really cool. And eventually Darkseid, again, he reveals that he's taken over Booster, and he gets taken out, knocked out, and that releases the hold he had on the absolute versions of the Trinity. So they switch over and fight with the good guys, and then Darkseid, he there's a cool part where he pretty much comes out of Booster's mouth and he's fully revealed himself. So everybody, the original Trinity, Lex Luthor, and the absolute versions of the Trinity, they all try to fight Darkseid. Darkseid wipes out pretty much everybody except for mainline Superman. And then it's revealed that Lex Luthor has also survived the attack, and because Darkseid, he used his Omega beams to just incinerate everybody except for Superman and Lex Luthor. So Superman's just like, what are you waiting for? Is that all you got? Something like that. And then Lex Luthor, he's behind Superman, and he's waiting for a winner of the tournament. So Lex Luthor, he had one more like energy blast in him, and he uses it to defeat Superman. So the winner is Lex Luthor. He is the King Omega. So we'll see how that plays out. And so I thought this was really fun. It wasn't the best issue of DCKO. Some things were kind of predictable. Again, like Joker switching sides, Lex Luthor winning, because they've kind of been laying that out. But I didn't enjoy this issue. And again, Batman coming back into the tournament was a cool moment, even though he broke his no-kill rule. And then there was a line where Scott Snyder, he kind of poked fun at himself, and he was pretty meta, because I think the original Batman, he had a line where he thought the bat symbol on the absolute version of Batman was really ugly, because when the design for Absolute Batman was first revealed, I remember people online, and myself included, just thought that was an ugly bat symbol. And I thought it was funny that Scott Snyder kind of made a commentary on that. So again, just the fight scenes were just dumb fun. Again, this whole event has just been action figures just like smashing together, and I just thought it's been written really well. And the backup story, we'll go over that really briefly. It's written by Joshua Williamson, and it's set like before what happened in issue 4 in the main story. So it just goes over how the Darkseid's version of the Legion of Superheroes are just communicating with Darkseid, and the artwork by Zermanico is really beautiful. I've enjoyed his work, especially in Jeremy Adams' Green Lantern run. So it just goes over that, and how Darkseid, he's essentially, it's inevitable that he's gonna win, and then Saturn Girl, she views into his mind, and she sees all the devastation that's gonna be caused if Darkseid wins, and then she sees something that is unexpected. She doesn't know what this thing is, and it involves the Time Trapper. Is it Time Trapper or Timekeeper? I believe it's Time Trapper. Let me know in the comments. But it essentially the Doomsday, the good version of Doomsday. So he has something to do with defeating Darkseid, it looks like. So we don't know what that is and how he's going to come into play. So I guess we'll find out in issue 5. But yeah, I recommend DCKO issue number 4. Another fun read. And that is it. That has been Single Issue Saturdays. Again, I apologize for putting out this video late. It's just, life happens. But I appreciate those who have been watching. I really appreciate it. Leave a like in the video. Let me know if you read any of these books and what your thoughts on them were. And yeah, just share the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. And yeah, I'll be back later today for the latest episode of Trade Talk Tuesdays, where I'm going to be going over the first volume of Bug Wars, plus a bonus issue with the Spider Witch special one-shot. So be on the lookout for that. So again, thank you for watching. This is Chris Chats Comics, and I'm out. Peace.